Filling our lives with ceaseless conversation is a common practice. However, the wisdom of Buddhism reminds us that silence is not only golden but also deeply transformative in certain situations. It teaches us to recognize the power of silence and apply it judiciously, particularly in 5 crucial scenarios. This exploration of Buddhism's spiritual teachings will guide us to understand the importance of maintaining silence in these instances. These teachings provide profound insights that can inspire a more mindful, harmonious, and purposeful life. Let's delve into these ancient wisdoms, embracing the serenity of silence and discovering solutions to life's challenges. Silence, far beyond being the absence of noise, is a profound state of being. As Master Fitch, the great Vietnamese sun, aptly put it, silence is essential, we require it as much as we need air, akin to how plants need light. In a world crowded with words and thoughts, Buddhism acknowledges the need for space and encourages its cultivation in various aspects of life. Silence, as Buddhism posits, is a gateway to inner peace, mindfulness, and self-awareness. It provides us with an opportunity to listen not only to the external world but, more crucially, to the whispers of our own hearts and minds. This powerful tool can transform the way we interact with the world and navigate life's challenges as we journey through the 5 situations where Buddhism recommends silence. It's essential to understand that silence is not synonymous with passivity or indifference. Instead, it's about being present, attuned, and intentional. Let's explore these situations, comprehend their significance, and embrace silence as a source of empowerment. Silence in the face of anger. The teachings advocate for silence when anger arises, recognizing anger as a potent and often destructive emotion. Buddhism attributes anger to attachment, aversion, and ignorance, attachments to desires or aversions stemming from a failure to perceive the impermanence and interconnectedness of all things. In moments of anger, silence serves as a powerful antidote, providing the space to pause, reflect, and observe our emotional reactions mindfully. It shields us from the harm caused by impulsive words and actions, fostering calm, understanding, and restraint. The story of the 2 arrows illustrates the point beautifully, with the first arrow symbolizing the initial pain of a distressing event and the second arrow representing the suffering inflicted on ourselves through reactive anger. By practicing silence, we can avoid shooting the second arrow, minimizing unnecessary suffering and fostering compassion. Silence in times of anger is not about suppressing emotions but engaging with them mindfully. It allows for self-awareness, reflection, and asking essential questions to gain insight into the root causes of anger. Silence serves as a shield against impulsive reactions, protecting relationships and promoting an atmosphere of calm. Silence in the face of gossip and slander. Another situation where silence is recommended is when confronted with gossip and slander. Buddhism acknowledges the harmful consequences of engaging in negative speech and emphasizes right speech, promoting truthfulness, kindness, and beneficial communication. Gossip and slander, often fueled by negative emotions, can damage relationships, trust, and community bonds. Silence in these situations serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it prevents participation in harmful speech, avoiding moral and karmic consequences. Secondly, it provides an opportunity for self-reflection on the intention behind gossip or slander. Choosing silence can encourage others to rethink their words and discourage such behavior. This aligns with the principles of right speech and fosters a culture of kindness, respect, and empathy. The prohibition against gossip and slander is rooted in the understanding of the power of words. Words shape reality, influence emotions, and impact lives. Silence in the face of harmful speech is an act of non-participation, protecting one's karma and emotional well-being. Silence in the midst of conflict. Conflict, an inevitable part of human interactions, calls for silence as a response. Buddhism encourages silence during conflicts to promote mindfulness, compassion, and understanding and resolution. Conflicts often stem from differences in opinions, values, or interests, leading to heated arguments and emotional distress. Silence in the midst of conflict is not about avoidance but creating a space for active listening, empathy, and finding common ground. It allows for reflection and a mindful response, breaking the cycle of reactivity that escalates conflicts. Silence during conflict prioritizes the well-being of relationships and mutual understanding over the need to be right or win an argument. Conflicts are common in various relationships, and Buddhism recommends silence for its potential to bring about a more mindful and compassionate resolution. It recognizes the challenges of conflicts, which stir strong emotions, and advocates for silence as a powerful tool for active listening, self-reflection, and prevention of further escalation. Silence in times of witnessing others' suffering. Compassion lies at the core of Buddhism, and silence is advocated when witnessing the suffering of others. This teaching underscores the potency of silence as a means to express compassion, offering solace without the need for immediate words of comfort or advice. Silence communicates presence, empathy, and a willingness to listen without judgment. It creates a space for the suffering individual to express themselves at their own pace. Moreover, silence respects the autonomy of the person to navigate their suffering, recognizing that not all suffering can be alleviated through words or advice. In a world where witnessing others' suffering is commonplace, Buddhism suggests that silence can be a more profound and compassionate response. It aligns with the principles of right speech, emphasizing the importance of speaking kindly and beneficially in the face of another person's suffering. Silence in times of our own suffering. The teaching to be silent when experiencing personal suffering underscores the importance of self-compassion and self-care. Silence during our own suffering provides a sanctuary for introspection and healing. It allows acknowledgement of pain without judgment and offers the same kindness and empathy we might extend to others. Silence in times of personal suffering is not about avoiding seeking support but creating a space for self-compassion. It liberates individuals from the pressure to articulate their pain, fostering healing and growth. In silence, individuals can connect with inner strength and wisdom, discovering profound truths about themselves and the nature of suffering. This practice aligns with the principles of self-compassion, self-care, and self-discovery deeply rooted in Buddhism. It allows individuals to honor their pain without judgment, find refuge from the need to explain, and connect with inner strength and wisdom. Silence in times of personal suffering creates conditions for healing and personal growth. In conclusion, the transformative power of silence in these 5 crucial situations is integral to the teachings of Buddhism. It is not about being passive but a deliberate and intentional choice to create space for mindfulness, compassion, and personal growth. By embracing silence in these instances, individuals empower themselves to transform negative emotions, nurture compassion, and foster understanding. Silence protects relationships, minimizes harm, and contributes to a more harmonious and connected world. It encourages being present, listening deeply, and embracing the healing power of silence in personal lives and the lives of others. Integrating these teachings into daily existence becomes a journey of self-discovery and personal transformation. Silence is not merely the absence of noise, it is a deliberate choice to live more mindfully, compassionately, and authentically. In the profound silence of these 5 situations, individuals discover the space needed to navigate life's challenges more intentionally and lead a more authentic and purposeful life. In Buddhism, silence holds profound significance as a practice that goes beyond the mere absence of sound. It is viewed as a transformative tool and a gateway to deeper understanding, mindfulness, and spiritual insight. Silence is not just an external state, it is an internal state of being that involves quieting the mind, releasing attachments, and fostering a profound connection with oneself and the world. Here are several aspects of the concept of silence in Buddhism. Inner silence. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of cultivating inner silence through practices such as meditation. Inner silence involves quieting the incessant chatter of the mind, allowing one to attain a state of mental clarity, focus, and presence. This inner stillness is considered essential for gaining insight into the nature of reality and achieving enlightenment. Mindful silence. Mindful silence involves being fully present and attentive in each moment without the distraction of unnecessary words or mental noise. Practicing mindful silence allows individuals to engage with the world in a more intentional and conscious way, promoting a deep sense of awareness and appreciation for the present moment. Silence as a source of wisdom. Buddhism teaches that profound wisdom often arises in moments of silence. By quieting the mind and external distractions, individuals can access deeper levels of understanding and insight. Silence becomes a vessel for the wisdom that transcends conventional knowledge and leads to a more profound understanding of the nature of existence. Noble silence. In certain Buddhist traditions, there is a concept known as noble silence or Arya Maitri, which refers to the intentional practice of silence during specific periods of meditation or retreat. Noble silence is seen as a way to deepen one's meditative experience, enhance mindfulness, and cultivate a heightened level of awareness. Silence in communication. Buddhism places a strong emphasis on right speech, which includes the judicious use of words and, at times, the practice of silence. Silence is considered preferable in situations where words may be harmful or unbeneficial. This is particularly evident in teachings that recommend silence in the face of anger, gossip, slander, and conflict. Silence and detachment. Silence in Buddhism is closely tied to the concept of detachment. By remaining silent in various situations, individuals practice non-attachment to the ego, desires, and the need to assert oneself. This detachment contributes to inner peace, emotional balance, and a reduction of suffering. Silence and connection to the sacred. Silence is often associated with a direct connection to the sacred or the transcendent in Buddhist practice. In moments of profound silence, individuals may experience a sense of oneness with the universe, transcending the boundaries of the self and attaining a deep spiritual connection. In summary, silence in Buddhism is not a passive state but an active practice with transformative potential. It involves cultivating inner stillness, practicing mindfulness, using speech judiciously, and embracing moments of quiet contemplation to deepen one's understanding of the self and the nature of existence. Through the intentional and mindful practice of silence, individuals on the Buddhist path aim to free themselves from unnecessary suffering and awaken to a more profound and enlightened way of living. Silence in Stoicism is often regarded as a valuable tool for self-discipline, personal development, and maintaining inner tranquility. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BCE, teaches individuals to cultivate virtues, exercise reason, and accept the natural order of the universe. Here are some key aspects of the role of silence in Stoicism. 1. Endurance in silence. Stoicism encourages individuals to endure hardship and challenges with a sense of inner strength and resilience. In times of difficulty, practicing silence can be a way to endure suffering without unnecessary complaint or outward expression of distress. This endurance is rooted in the Stoic virtue of courage. 2. Acceptance of external events. Silence in Stoicism is closely connected to the idea of accepting external events with equanimity. Instead of reacting emotionally to events beyond one's control, Stoics strive to maintain inner composure and accept the unfolding of events with rationality and calmness. Silence, both in speech and internal dialogue, can facilitate this acceptance. 3. Mindful reflection. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and reflective thinking. Silence provides the mental space for individuals to engage in mindful reflection on their thoughts, actions, and reactions. Through silent contemplation, Stoics aim to gain insight into their own character and refine their understanding of virtue. 4. Avoidance of idle talk. Stoics caution against engaging in idle or meaningless talk. Instead, they advocate for purposeful speech that aligns with reason and virtue. Silence, in this context, serves as a means of avoiding superficial conversations that do not contribute to personal growth or the well-being of oneself and others. 5. Freedom from external influences. Stoicism teaches the importance of achieving inner freedom, which is not contingent on external circumstances. Silence, both in external communication and internal mental chatter, is a tool for distancing oneself from external influences that may disturb one's peace of mind. This inner freedom is aligned with the Stoic concept of ataraxia, or tranquility. 6. Control over speech. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on controlling one's speech. Practicing silence allows individuals to speak deliberately, avoiding impulsive or emotionally charged words. By choosing when and what to say, Stoics aim to express themselves with wisdom and moderation. 7. Mindful listening. Silence in Stoicism extends to the practice of mindful listening. Stoics believe in the importance of truly hearing and understanding others, which requires being present in the moment and avoiding unnecessary commentary or judgment. Silent attentiveness contributes to harmonious social interactions. 8. Focus on internal virtue. Stoicism directs individuals to focus on cultivating internal virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Silence becomes a tool for turning inward, aligning one's thoughts with these virtues, and maintaining a sense of inner harmony irrespective of external circumstances. In essence, silence in Stoicism serves as a means of fostering inner strength, resilience, and virtue. It is a tool for maintaining composure in the face of external challenges, exercising control over one's reactions, and cultivating a peaceful and reflective inner life. Through the intentional practice of silence, individuals following Stoic principles aim to achieve a state of tranquility and wisdom in their journey toward eudaimonia, or flourishing. Silence is a theme that appears in various contexts throughout the Bible, and its significance can vary depending on the passage and the context in which it is mentioned. Here are several aspects of silence as found in the Bible. Reverence and awe. In some biblical passages, silence is associated with reverence and awe in the presence of God. For example, in the book of Habakkuk, Habakkuk 2:20, it says, "But the Lord is in his holy temple, let all the earth be silent before him." This highlights the idea that in the presence of the divine, there is a solemn silence that reflects the recognition of God's majesty. Listening to God. The Bible often encourages believers to be silent and listen for God's voice. In the story of Elijah on Mount Horeb, 1 Kings 19:11-13, God speaks to Elijah not in the wind, earthquake, or fire, but in a gentle whisper. This emphasizes the importance of attentive and silent listening when seeking communication with the divine. Confidence in God's sovereignty. Silence is sometimes associated with confidence in God's sovereignty, especially in times of trouble. Psalm 46:10 states, "Be still, and know that I am God, I will be exalted among the nations, I will be exalted in the earth." This verse encourages believers to trust in God's control over all situations and to find peace in being still before Him. Quiet reflection and meditation. The Bible also highlights the value of silence for personal reflection and meditation on God's Word. In Psalm 4:4, it says, "Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent." This suggests that silence provides an opportunity for introspection and seeking God's guidance. Restraint in speech. Proverbs, in particular, contains wisdom about the importance of silence in interpersonal relationships. Proverbs 17:28 states, "Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues." This verse underscores the idea that there is wisdom in knowing when to be silent, especially in situations where speaking may not be beneficial. Enduring in silence. In certain biblical narratives, silence is associated with endurance and patience in the face of suffering or injustice. For instance, Jesus remained silent during his trial before Pilate, Matthew 27:12-14, demonstrating a quiet resolve and trust in God's plan. Lament and grief. Silence is also expressed in the context of lament and grief. In the Book of Lamentations, the author speaks of sitting in silence as a response to the devastation of Jerusalem. "Arise, cry out in the night, as the watches of the night begin, pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. Lift up your hands to Him for the lives of your children, who faint from hunger at every street corner." Lamentations 2:19. Timing and purpose. Ecclesiastes 3:7 famously declares, "A time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak." This verse recognizes that there are appropriate times for both silence and speech, highlighting the importance of discerning the timing and purpose of one's words. In summary, silence in the Bible is a multifaceted concept, encompassing reverence, listening to God, confidence in His sovereignty, quiet reflection, restraint in speech, endurance, lament, grief, and an acknowledgement of timing and purpose. The Bible underscores that there is a time for everything, including a time for silence, and encourages believers to cultivate a discerning heart in navigating the different seasons of life. Greek philosophy, with its rich history and diverse schools of thought, has explored various aspects of human existence, including the concept of silence. While not all Greek philosophers explicitly focused on silence, some key ideas and perspectives can be gleaned from their writings. Here are insights from several prominent Greek philosophers. Pythagoras. Pythagoras, known for his contributions to mathematics and philosophy, emphasized the value of silence. He is attributed with the saying, "Silence is better than unmeaning words." This suggests a preference for thoughtful and purposeful speech over unnecessary or empty chatter. Socrates. Socrates, a central figure in Western philosophy, is often portrayed in dialogues by Plato. Socratic dialogues themselves are a form of conversation that involves questioning and seeking wisdom. While Socrates was not explicitly focused on silence, his method of questioning aimed at stimulating critical thinking and self-examination, suggesting a nuanced approach to speech and contemplation. Plato. In Plato's dialogues, the character of Socrates often employs the method of dialectical inquiry, engaging in a form of conversation that involves active listening and questioning. Plato's Phaedrus contains a discussion on rhetoric and the value of silence. The dialogue suggests that true wisdom involves knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Aristotle. Aristotle, a student of Plato, discussed the concept of eudaimonia or human flourishing. While Aristotle did not explicitly address silence, his emphasis on virtue and the balanced life implies the importance of thoughtful communication and restraint in speech. Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics underscores the value of moderation in all things, including speech. Epicurus. Epicurus, the founder of Epicureanism, focused on achieving a life of tranquility and freedom from unnecessary desires. While not directly addressing silence, the Epicurean emphasis on avoiding unnecessary disturbances and cultivating peace of mind suggests an appreciation for moments of quiet reflection and contentment. Stoicism, Zeno of Citium, Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. The Stoic philosophy, which emerged in the Hellenistic period, places a significant emphasis on self-control, rationality, and acceptance of the natural order. Stoicism encourages individuals to endure hardship with inner strength. While not explicitly about silence, Stoicism advocates for thoughtful and intentional speech, as well as an acceptance of external events with equanimity. Plotinus, Neoplatonism. Plotinus, a philosopher associated with Neoplatonism, focused on the contemplation of the one or the divine. While not explicitly discussing silence, Neoplatonism emphasizes transcending the material world through contemplation and unity with the divine, suggesting a form of inner quietude and focused thought. In summary, while direct discussions on silence may be limited in ancient Greek philosophy, the themes of thoughtful speech, moderation, contemplation, and endurance align with an implicit recognition of the value of silence in various aspects of life. The emphasis on wisdom, virtue, and a balanced existence implies a nuanced understanding of when to speak and when to remain silent.